How's it? Welcome back to the channel. So having just got back from going skydiving again, I thought I would make a follow-up video to one I made a couple years ago, which was the last time I went skydiving, where I was really trying to compare the experience of, skydiving in real life versus doing very similar things within my dreams. Uh-oh, the Terminator is here. Hey, come and say hi, because you're already over here. Come. Put on the glasses and make Terminator. No? Can I try? Ooh! I'm busted. You win. Here you go. All right, so to get back to where I was going skydiving in real life and comparing doing something very similar to that within my dreams, where jumping off a high shit in my dreams is basically like my favorite thing to do. Now, I don't know if I've ever actually gone skydiving like out of a plane in my dreams, at least not that I can recall right now, but I will always, if I get lucid and I'm on top of a mountain or a tall building or something like that, automatic, first thing I'm doing is jumping off of that bitch. Or a lot of times if I'm flying, I'll fly up just to get really high, just to drop and plummet back down and then fly back up. So I definitely like dropping more than I like flying within my lucid dreams. And this is actually like what kind of got me into this whole dreaming practice to begin with back in, I was like 13 or so or something around there, where I seen my first ever base jumping video of these guys at Lautenbrunnen, which is this place in Switzerland, where, they were like, this guy was running through the top, and it's like running through these trees, and then he just gets to this cliff and leaps off, and the cameraman falls behind him, and it just looked so amazing. And so then after that, I was lying down to go to sleep after that, and I was just really playing back that scene in my head. And what I found was, as I was kind of slipping towards hypnagogic area, like not only did the mental images of this thought I was playing over and over in my head get more clear, but when I would go ahead and run off and jump off the cliff in my hypnagogic liminal dream, I would actually get the very beginning of that dropping stomach sensation that I love so much. And then I just, kept kind of just going back to that jump, because after jumping off and dropping, it wouldn't continue. I would only really get that initial feeling when I would just picture in my head going ahead and making the initial leap. So I just kind of kept replaying that and replaying that, which is also, that was like the first time I ever realized, you can kind of play in this mental space and do it on purpose. But, geez, where was I getting distracted? Yeah, so doing it in real life versus doing it in dreams, and how do they compare? And they really compare pretty close, man, like surprisingly close in my opinion, where now it has to be a kind of more peak-like dream experience, where sometimes you can be lucid in a dream and the dream will not be that solid or that stable and won't have too much physical sensations to go along with it. But, when that dream is firing on all cylinders, it can be, it's basically the same sensation of dropping. Now, there are some differences there. Like something I noticed doing it in real life just earlier today was the anticipation, like as you're getting ready to go up, not so much flying up, that's just kind of boring as you're waiting, but once they open up, and then I wasn't the first one to go out, I was like the third or fourth. So you see all these other people go up and drop, and you're like, okay, it's really coming, I'm going next. And then like it's your turn to walk up there, and you get to the edge and they go 1, 2, 3. So that whole anticipation of it, I think, is a little bit more fun in real life, because you just, you're really awake. At least you think, you believe, as of course, in your dreams, you think you're really awake and all that shit. But like that whole anticipation to go ahead and do it is a lot better, where in dreams, the anticipation I will get and like the kind of hesitancy I'll get is, I tend to wonder like, man, am I dreaming or is this real? So it's more just me being not sure of like, okay, wait, if I jump and I'm not actually dreaming, I'm going to splat myself on the ground, but you just got to kind of feel it out, take your best guess, and leap off of that thing, which is also, like, my wife's a nurse, and I tell her, like, when I get older, if I start to go a little bit crazy, if I start to think I'm dreaming and I'm up someplace high, I'm going to try and jump off something. So it's not me, like, trying to commit suicide. It's probably just me getting confused because, I've been doing it for so many years in my dreams. If I get caught up in that type of thought process in real life, that could be dangerous. So that part I thought was better in real life, just kind of having a lot more anticipation, as opposed to me just being in the dream thinking, is this a dream or is this real life? You got to kind of feel it out and take a guess. So that part was better. Also, like the coldness I was feeling just from like, all the wind and everything, that seemed more prominent just doing it earlier today, jumping out of the plane. But something else I thought was pretty interesting here too is trying to recall the event, or like the free fall in particular. It's really hard to do, and I was trying my best to stay as 100% like present and like in the moment as I could. And still looking back on it, like I can only remember like glimpses of it really clearly. So it really reminds me a lot of like trying to recall dreams just in general. Like, you know, dreams are typically hard to recall. Sometimes you can recall like little like spots of it really clearly, and then, you know, you might miss a little chunk and then another bright spot. So like the two clearest memories or visuals, snapshots that I have jumping out the plane today is like I always like to look as we're doing our flips and shit, to look at the plane and watching it disappear. Like the first time I ever jumped out, we went out backwards and I could kind of just see the plane like going and disappearing. So I always like to look for that. So we jumped out, we did a flip, and I go back, I see it. We do another flip, I see it again, and it's getting smaller and further away. And then when we did the third flip, I couldn't see it. But then actually, I got a video of it this time, which, you know, it's really expensive. If you want a video and pictures, it's like doing the fucking jump twice. It was really, I mean, like it cost me like $700 to go skydiving today, which is a bit pushing the word, is it worth it or not scale to me, but nonetheless, it was really amazing. Like we had a family visiting, and then my wife's nephew's never gone before, and you know, he asked me if I want to go, and then fucking, of course I want to go. If you want to go, I'm there 100%. So we had to go take him. But yeah, so just the whole recalling the experience is difficult to recall, just like it seems to me like it is difficult to recall dreams. And shucks, there was one more thing I wanted to say. Oh yeah, okay, great. I remember finally. So what it was is comparing doing it again and again, multiple times in real life versus doing it in dreams. So of course I didn't go skydiving more than once because it was just way too damn expensive today to go again and again and again. But whenever I get the chance in real life to jump off of something high, say down into water, I always go up there and just keep going and going and going because I like the experience so much. But something I've noticed in real life that differs from within dreams is that when you jump off of something really high into water, the first experience is always by far the best, and as you do it again and again, it kind of loses that some of that excitement. Like I thought the same thing like when I was going bungee jumping in New Zealand last year, where the first time was by far the best, like way the best, and then when I went up and did it again after that and again after that, it just wasn't quite as exciting. It was still really cool, but it kind of lost some of that excitement feel. However, when I'm doing it in dreams, especially if it's a very solid, stable, you know, clear, lucid type of dream, every time you do it is just as exciting every single time. So that's one of the ways I think doing it in dream was a little bit better than doing it in real life. But yeah, anyway, really great experience. Of course, I'd recommend skydiving or bungee jumping or jumping off a high shit in the water, you know, because it's just fun as hell. And also, if you're lucid in a dream, of course, I would recommend that too. So anyway, that's that. Peace.